happens.
Yeah, it's a good idea, JHKG. I think I might do that.
Take your medication?
I understand
Yes,
GITV.
definitely do that.
I would be the same way if I was you. And yeah.
What?
Alright.
Remember the kid who I had asked you about what we should do about this? About the GITV blog thing?
That's my American flag
It's
patch.
been here the whole time now.
Dude, I told Andrew to give that to me. That's ridiculous. Give me
Slam.
that back.
Come and get it.
Introducing Optima.
What's
Gotta
going
love
on there?
advertisements. Grab this. Taking this.
Let's go ahead and take that. We have a pretty loose schedule today. I mean, we have a lot of guns that we can talk about and go over. I'm sure people will be interested in.
Oh, if you could just not ever do that again, that'd be great.
Alright, anybody that wants to kick Bob off the live show, type 1 now.
Oh, guys.
His ears!
Oh, no, there's two. There's two. That means keep me
we have
two.
a lot more
9,
ones.
9, 0.
Look at all those ones!
0.
Bob's Rebel Forces even wants to kick you
No,
off.
that's, no! Why?
Okay, you can stop now. We're not kicking. Oh, pi. I like that.
Oh,
Wait.
3.141519.
He didn't go that far, but
Yeah. Over
He's
9,000.
Over
Thank you,
9,000.
Bob Double Forces.
try to take the badge back, the patch back stealthily.
Well, that
It's
kind of ruins,
velcroed
that
on.
kind of ruins the element of surprise.
There's no way you can stealthily undo Velcro.
Yeah, there's. You ever seen the video how to undo stealthily do Velcro? There's a trick to it.
Yeah. You want
Just
me to show you?
Yeah, show us how we do it, Bob.
Ah! Oh. Ah! You want to hear it going off?
I heard no Velcro at all.
It's clever.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I can say all 50 states and their capitals in less than a second. Ah!
We can't dispute him.
It's a Family Guy joke.
Yes.
Why does Bob have Tourette's today?
He doesn't.
It's not its day.
We got 5 minutes.
No problem, GITV fan.
Yes, Frank is here. Everyone says R.I.P. headphone users.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
I understand what that means, but
Ooh.
even if it's
Basically,
really loud and
if
you're
the-
wearing headphones, you
If
don't
it spikes
die.
at all. If it spikes at all, they're like, oh no, my life is over. I'm just like, hey, why don't you like manage volume control?
C1 Red Gun. What part of Bakersfield are you from? You're from Oildale.
The Bakersfield part.
No. I'm
The
from the
armpit.
I'm from the east side. How can I put this? If you know where Bakersfield Country Club is, because there's only like two.
Or the country club.
Dude, it's the crappy one. It's like where the 178 meets Fairfax. So pretty far on the east side of town, just outside of Bakersfield Speedway, or what did we used to call Bakersfield Speedway? It had kind of a really funny redneck name. Okie Bowl, the Okie Bowl.
I'm not surprised if you guys would give a redneck name something out there. That's really
Well, Oildale, I mean, there are some like fun parts of that. That's actually where I coined the term, or the term got coined for me, Bakersfield Fireworks. Because I used to play Warhammer 40K at a shop in Oildale, Riverview Hobbies, which is no longer there. It used to be next to the Maytag repair shop. But yeah, we'd hear basically meth labs going off, and it was like a subdued explosion, like a grenade inside a house, and that was Bakersfield Fireworks. But yeah, Oildale can be tricky, can be nice in some areas. Actually, it's one of the few places in town where I could go for Wiener Schnitzel. So that's
Wiener
what-
Schnitzel.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be more hot dog fast food restaurants.
Dude, you ever been to the doghouse?
We have the doghouse.
Yeah, it's so delicious.
Where's the doghouse?
It's so
I think it's in like north of here.
Is it a chair? Have to stand?
We
just
the
don't
stream
use
just
that
crashed.
Yeah, just don't use that chair.
The
I almost
stream,
threw them
the
over.
stream just crashed.
Ustream has
You
crashed?
sit there.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix it.
No, it looks that way.
Andrew, Ustream has crashed. Fix it. Andrew,
Sorry, temporary.
Ustream has crashed. Fix it.
Camera.
There's a
Dude,
reason
I
why.
saw Domino's
don't-
in China.
They
Domino's
don't
in
use.
China.
Yeah, they
Firefox.
have it's a pizza with hot dog, like mini hot dogs, all around
Good
the
thing
edge
it
you can
started
pull off,
before the
and
show.
it's like a shrimp tempura pizza.
Wait, where is this hot dog house place?
Doghouse is in Pasadena. There's two of them in Pasadena.
Oh, you can sign up on
Yeah.
So it's not like a fast food thing. It's like gourmet.
It's pretty
sausages and
fast.
stuff.
It's pretty fast food.
Is
Frank-
it like
But-
Worcestershire?
I don't know, but
Where's the cooking?
the hot dogs are
That's a good
freaking
place.
delicious. The buns are Hawaiian bread.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bob, you can get like a double Western cheeseburger in hot dog form. You ever been to Carl's Jr., the double Western cheeseburger?
Western bacon cheese.
Yeah, double Western bacon cheeseburger. You can get that in hot dog form.
How?
Yes, my
Just
favorite doghouse dog is the Amigo.
Oh, Facebook.
It's like a chili dog with tomatoes, lettuce, tapatio.
Is it a problem that I'm signed into Ustream here?
You been
Can I
to
sign
Pink's?
up?
So good.
No?
Huh?
That's fine.
Been to Pink's?
Pink's is horrible.
What? You're full of crap.
Pink's is not bad.
Pink's is horrible compared
It's just
to the doghouse.
you should
Well, I haven't
wait
been to
for
Doghouse,
Pink's.
so I can't compare
Okay,
them. But
because
Pink's is
the
great.
Pink's, when you look at it,
Airsoft, yeah.
okay, yeah, it's a hot dog. It looks like a regular hot dog. There's nothing too special.
No,
But
they-
when you go to the doghouse,
That's not true.
When you go to the doghouse, you get Hawaiian bread for the bun. You get Hawaiian bread for the bun. The
Full life.
hot dog is freaking delicious, and it's bigger than the ones at Pink's.
Well, it's nice
So
you
it's-
get more
it's
meat
more
for your
meat.
buck.
Yeah, and then everything is so delicious. The other one I like is the Abe Froman. So it has like grilled onions and peppers, and it's so spicy. It's on a spicy kielbasa. Or whatever. So delicious.
Real life?
Last time I went to Pink's, I got I think it was the America dog, and it was like double wrapped in bacon, and some other meat on top, and then some extra bacon on top of that. No hot sauce. I remember it was just loaded with stuff. I couldn't even finish the damn thing.
Yeah, I've had Pink's.
I just like the fact that they.
I've waited in that 45-minute line.
You must have been there like 2 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because me and my buddies were like, dude, what do we do?
That's fine.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of
logic,
hungry.
yeah.
Let's go to Pink's. I'm like, I've never been there. Let's do it. 45 minutes later, I was so mad. Because first, I waited 45 minutes for a hot dog. The second,
Good.
I wasn't too impressed.
Oh.
So,
Pink's has that like LA historical draw to it though, because it's been around for such a long time.
Well, I also like they get their hot dogs from a very specific place, and I think the actual casing for it is like lamb intestine, or it's a specific type of intestine. So when you bite into the hot dog, it has more of a snap than normal hot dogs. So I like
I've
that.
only
I-
been to
okay,
Pink's
that's-
once.
okay.
You can understand my
Yeah,
realization.
Yeah, because that does happen with the Pink's hot dogs.
Yeah.
There's this other hot dog place in Pasadena that I'm going to try.
Is it called the Lazy Dog?
I can't remember. They had like so many different choices. They had like 15 different like meats, like hot dog meats. And various,
That sounds like Worcester Kuka.
Worst.
Well, Worcester Kuka. I don't know how to say it exactly.
Verst
The worst,
Kusha.
the worst cook? Worst cook?
Worcester Kuka.
It's Verst Kusha. It's
no,
in
but-
LA actually.
Downtown.
Next to J-Town.
yeah,
off
this
of Third
place in
Street.
Pasadena, I think they calculated between all the different buns and meats and variations. Some Caltech guys were eating there, and it was like on their little YouTube video thing,
A lot
and
of
there was
different
like
combinations.
there's like 30 billion combinations of hot dogs you can get out of there.
It's possible because at Verst Kusha you can choose from a lot of different meats. And
It's like
then
there was
a lot of
rattlesnake
different
meat,
toppings.
alligator meat, rabbit.
Yeah.
Buffalo was great.
I've had a lot of their dogs. I lost
I had a
count, actually.
buffalo burger at the counter, and it was freaking delicious.
I've been at the counter.
It was so delicious.
I've heard the counter's awesome.
Oh, it's so good. We keep talking about food. That's
Is
right.
it just you or is it a lot quieter? I don't know. What does the sound?
A rot.
Is it quiet?
36 current views. Well, it is 6:01. It's time for us to get on with our regularly scheduled program and not talk about dogs in the mouth, hot dogs specifically anymore. Not like real dogs. Woof woof. That would be weird.
We did have a lot of folks asking about the Lonex motors, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on these Lonex guns. I mean, is this the new?
This is the sample gun that we got. Well, Frank can explain.
Yeah,
that.
I'd like to hear this out of Frank's mouth.
Okay, so this is the sample we got. So Lonex is going to be the OEM for our new Full Metal G4 line. And this is our test sample. So it did come as a standard M4, so it's wired to the front. So this is not going to be one of the variations that we're going to have available yet. We may have it, but it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But we've been shooting this gun pretty heavily for the past about 3 months is how long we've had the sample. Just in the shooting range and stuff, we wanted to make sure that it's durable, and never had a problem with it. Shoots great. We have it shooting at about 400 FPS, and it's got a really nice rate of fire on it too. So we know the motors can take a 120 spring, which, you know, outside of anybody doing anything crazy, that's kind of like the
It
standard.
would be sufficient. for
Yeah, it
anything
would
you
be
need to do.
sufficient for you to
Sufficient.
kind of game you would go to or use. But the internals, the gear sets look, they're not going to be the same gear sets that Lonex sell as aftermarket parts, but they are going to be similar to them. It's just going to be a different material. Obviously, they're not going to put a $60 gear set into a base gun and try to get it into a real competitive price. So, but the gear sets work fine. Pistons, they do, yeah, again, the pistons are the same kind of like mold as the standard Lonex pistons, but material's a little bit different. So a lot of these parts in here are going to be a step down from their upgrade part line, but you know, of course, you're not paying about $300-400 for a Lonex AEG. You know, you're paying about, you know, $250 or so. I'm trying to remember, because I mean we didn't pick up their main line. We're picking them up as OEMs for G4. So
Gotcha. So they're slightly different.
Slightly different, but they work pretty good.
Excellent day. I just can't believe how much better the quality is on Ustream. It's ridiculous.
So I've got a ton of questions here. The first questions people are asking is,
Okay, I see a whole bunch of 6.02, 6.04. Are people asking about barrel?
No, that's the time code that
Oh.
they're coming in.
right, so the things that I see people asking the most is, what's the rate of fire with 11.1?
Okay.
What's the price going to be for this? Is that an extended MOE handguard? And what is going to be that was it actually.
Yeah, this is a little bit longer
I
than
can answer
standard.
some of that.
Yeah.
That is a longer handguard than standard. I believe that our, not really friends, but our people in the, what is it, customs ruined the gun when coming across the United States border.
Sample those.
What
guns,
happened?
Man, huh?
What happened?
So the
They
flash
tried to-
hider is like firmly secure onto the barrel, right?
Yeah.
Not that one, Bob. The
Yeah,
original one.
The original one.
Right.
Okay.
And they
And
tried
they-
their hardest to wrench it off,
Yeah,
and they
they-
ruined the barrel. And
They took
the
like a
flash hider-
super Jaws of Life like vice grip, and they just ruined the flash hider, stripped out all the threads, and they're like, "Whoa, flash hider came off. It's no good."
Yeah. So
Jesus.
that is a new. I believe that's the Mad Bull mid-length.
Yeah, that
barrel
is
kit,
a
right?
Mad Bull government profile, 16 inch.
I was actually talking with Andrew about this, and he had a boner as soon as I said it. But with this handguard, we can create his Travis Haley gun exactly. Because
Really?
we've never been able to do that.
Wait, does
prior to
Travis
this.
Haley use an MOE for a handguard?
No. But because of the mid-length gas block, we can actually set it up properly how Andrew's AR rifle's set up. Now he has said that he's changed his setup since then, but the gun that we used for the SHOT Show preview, the AR, that was Andrew's gun. He modeled that after Travis Haley's gun, and we can actually do a proper airsoft replica of it.
We could have
No.
done that like
I know we could have,
long time.
but it's a lot easier now with Mad Bull's whole barrel kit all in one.
I'm glad my bayonet still fits on these guns, because I was worried that I bought that bayonet a long time ago, wouldn't keep fitting on the stuff, but I don't know, just nice.
But
Very solid gun.
Josh had a couple of other questions. Do we know the rate of fire with an 11.1?
The rate of fire was, I believe, close to 20, maybe 21 on 11.1 LiPo.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not
That's not bad
bad
at all.
for a gun right out of the box. And the rate of fire, like we already mentioned, is going to be around the 400 range because it has the M120 spring or thereabouts in it. FPS, did I say rate of fire? My bad.
Yeah, so there were a few changes made. I believe that there might be a stronger motor in there, but we're going to wait for the shipment to come in before we actually confirm or deny that.
Yeah, so the rate of fire that we just told you and the FPS we just told you is based off of the sample. Once we actually do get the G4s in, the FMG4s in, we'll test it out and let you guys know.
I think we have 500 viewers on our page right now.
Awesome.
Really?
We just
Now-
can't see because you
on the
moved
front
that.
page.
Yeah. Now is that a flash
540.
mag from Lonex?
Yes.
Okay, so now people want to know how many BBs does a flash mag hold?
The same as a normal magazine.
Yeah. about
Standard high
300.
cap around that size should be around 300-ish.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just open up the thing. There you go.
The flash mag capacity doesn't change. The only thing that changes is instead of having a little gear down there that you
Just
just
have
wind with your finger, you have
Ripcord,
a
yeah.
pull string.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so actually we are putting together a video. We actually took a look at the internals in this. So look on GITV Uncut.
Uncut.
Woo! Next couple
Yeah.
days, and we're gonna go ahead and release that video.
Great videos on that channel. Highly suggest you check it out. We're gonna have stuff hopefully coming up there quite often, but that is the
Yeah.
newest video coming up. So.
It's actually already uploaded.
The video for this, of us shooting it and playing with it, is actually already up. It's already live on GITV Uncut.
Excellent.
And
There's also a great video of me scaring the shit out of Bob. on
Yeah, he got me.
GITV Uncut.
He got me really good this time. Like he got me great last time, but he got me even better
what video is
this time.
Well, see, Bob was doing his thing here
On the
and
M&P.
then- on the M&P, and that door was locked, and I very ninja-like unlocked the door,
With a key.
got inside, yeah, with a key. Obviously, I didn't pick the lock or anything like that. But
I've
I
got
stood
my
here
way through
and waited for Bob to finish his take, and then as soon as he did, he was like, "Oh, let's go outside," and he turned over right to me, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go outside."
I almost just slammed my face into him and scared the bejesus out of me. And the funny thing is, Tim jumps on camera for like 2 seconds and is like, yeah, got him. And then I just got him right in the nuts, but not very hard. But yeah, you got me really good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so
Toys.
we got the pre-orders up, 6 different models, and I believe they range from
have
about
just-
$250 all the way up to $299.
We have the G4 FMG4A3, which is $249. That's your standard, handguard, I guess, right?
It's our handguard.
Yeah. We have the FMG4A3 Daniel Defense, which is $279. FMG418 with a Daniel Defense Mark 18 wrist. I like that wrist a lot. FMG4 Gemtech Talon Kit. I used to have one of those Talon kits on one of my guns a long time ago for $299. The FMG4A1 Noveski Hard Next Gen is $305. That's the only one over $300. And we have the FMG4A1 11-inch Spec V carbine for $299. The price point on these guns is really unbelievable. Under $300, you get a full metal gun with a VTAC wrist. That's crazy because that wrist alone costs $110. So I mean, this is the thing that we've G4s, and now we have a much more affordable full metal line. Is that you're much better off buying the gun from us with the rail system on it as opposed to putting it on yourself.
No, absolutely. I mean,
Because
you're going to save
spend
money on
way
parts.
more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
some-
frustration in case you screw it up on yourself.
Yeah, some people spend money on the lower and upper receivers too.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to buy a metal body. You don't have to buy a metal body, but
Depends on how bad something
depends on how bad
happens.
you mess it up. Yeah. It's happened, when
It's happened.
when upgrades go awry, sometimes you end up with more work than you started out with.
Right?
It happens with cars too. I hate that.
Yeah, so the shipment is actually in port, but we don't know how long it's going to be released. So we set the ETA date to be April 15th.
April, okay.
Just to be safe. We don't know how long they're going to hold on to our guns,
Yep.
but it could be a lot sooner.
Yeah, well, we're excited. I mean, it's obvious from the response on Facebook and everything like that, everyone else is excited that we're going with Lonex, which is a high-quality, affordable option, which is obviously what the G4 line's always been about. And now we have the FMG4 more readily available. I really liked our original FMG4s from DFC, but I think this is going to be a really well-received option as well.
Yeah, that one was, I liked it a lot,
Mhm.
but just the price point.
It was too expensive.
Yeah, it's out of reach.
It was out of reach for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Really quick, Tim, someone asked about the KJW229, and they also asked your opinion on the KWA M93R, and we just actually happen to have a video that, I don't know if it went out.
It's live right now.
It's live right now, where we actually compared both of those guns against the new VFC M&P 9C. So in case you guys want to know, what the accuracy like is on those guns, as well as how they function fully automatic. I know the 229 isn't full automatic, but it's incredibly accurate compact pistol, and the M93R is really, really fun to fire, and also pretty effective on fully automatic. You haven't been able to use it yet, though, have you?
I've fired the M93R in the past. I'm not a huge fan of that gun just because it's big and bulky, but it is kind of neat to have a full auto pistol. The 229, again, I'm not a fan of really small guns. I would prefer a 226 if I were going to fire a SIG. But I do know that the 229 is a good compact pistol that a lot of people like.
It's very accurate.
Yeah.
Like that specific model, so
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Yeah.
And that is Arabic.
Wow.
Huh.
It says
Are my
Bob
caps allowed in
is
BBT4?
going to lose
I used to be able to read a tiny bit of
TVB4.
Arabic.
Yep, that's what it says. He says you're
I
going to
don't-
lose
I don't
TVB4.
think so.
Yeah, he's saying it right now.
Inshallah.
Does the i4 die cam?
Just
go
to be
over
clear,
the
I
camera?
didn't boot him because he was speaking Arabic. That's fine. I can't read it, and basically kicked him because he has a big thing in like talking about Obama, which is political agendas, and we don't like that around here. So
Well, I thought it was just because he's
It's
spamming or
got like
something.
German going on too, maybe. I don't know.
let's try to keep it to English if you can. I know you guys speak it, so let's just work with that.
English, do you speak it?
Jeez.
Say what again? Say what one more time? Well, we've got a lot of the guns to talk about. I think we've covered the FMG4
For now.
completely for now. We'll have more details in the future. But
Someone was saying speak Canadian, and I was reminded of that meme on how to say KWA Canadian.
KWA?
KWA.
KWA, that's fine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be KWA.
Whatever. We should probably cover, while we have the attention of the audience, the sale that's happening this weekend at our walk-in store. It is called the Golden Cobra sale. You will get 20% off everything in the store, 30% off of NC Star Pantac and Condor items, and 40% off everything in the Boneyard.
Damn.
Yes.
There's always a rush for that stuff.
Yes, the Boneyard is always a huge hit. Obviously, you're going to get some awesome deals on Pantac and Condor tactical gear, so that should be a huge hit as well. And who doesn't like saving 20% off everything that they purchase?
Every time I'm at a sale and I see people coming out of the Boneyard, usually every couple minutes I'll see someone coming out with some like awesome gun going like, I can't believe this is in here. There's only one thing missing.
Yep.
And it's pretty ridiculous. If I knew more about tech things, I might spend more time in there.
The Boneyard is a fan favorite for sure. We're also going to have a lot of other cool things there that I can't tell you. You just need to show up to the sale and then
We're hopefully
enjoy it.
We are going to have an area where we're going to have a backdrop. You and I are going to be there in full gear, so that if anyone wants to take photos with us and some of possibly these guns,
Probably, yeah.
possibly like maybe the Battlefield 3 gun or the Black Ops 2 MP7. But the thing we can't mention might also be there.
Probably, yeah.
There's a thing we can't mention.
There is a thing
Awesome.
we can't mention.
It's awesome.
I'll tell you later.
It's so cool.
After we get off camera.
Yeah.
But, that might be at the sale. Basically, the sale is at our retail store at 21077 Commerce
Yeah.
Point Drive. And the sale starts at 11, I believe, which is normal hours for Saturday. So, yeah, be at our walk-in store. We're giving away over $4,000 worth of GI Bucks and merchandise for the first 200 people that show up in the rabbit hole. They'll get a chance to draw for that. So,
Yeah, I think last time we had some folks camped out for that.
yeah, we usually have a couple of people camped out for the sale, and we're going to reward the people that show up early. So, like I said, the first 200 people will get a chance to draw at $4,000 worth of GI Bucks and merchandise. So, definitely, if you live locally, show up to the sale. And if you don't live locally, show up to the sale anyway,
Yeah.
because you're not really going to get the opportunity to see some of the things that you will see if you're at the sale.
See,
See.
that works out.
Senor. Bad Luck Bob is moving to California. Fantastic. We will welcome you here.
Oh, that Bad Luck Bob. All right.
You already live
Solid.
in California. Bob.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
That's a meme.
Oh, about me.
Yeah, it's about Bob and his bad luck.
Got a lot of it.
So, I mean, it's funny now because you're alive.
Yeah, but like had it,
Had it not gone that way,
then it would have been like more tragic than funny.
Yes.
But
But you're alive, so it's funny.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
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 I'm just lost.
Anyway, why don't we pull up some of those pistolas or that other gun that you brought in,
Yeah.
Frank, that I think is kind of cool. The
Ooh.
WTW.
Is that what you're calling it, the WTW?
I'm calling it the WTW, but this is actually called the WE Katana Edition AG.
That's what it was called.
Yeah. But I like the WTW better. Just because it mixes well.
Okay. So, okay.
Alright, let's just show
Well,
people what the
yeah,
WTW
it's just a
is all about.
standard M4 on the outside, but when you take a look at it inside, it is a split gearbox design. And it's kind of like a hybrid from the PTW and the ICS and
All the other split gearbox
All the
designs
other-
that are out
all the
there.
other
So
split
this is
gearbox
the
designs.
cylinder/piston/spring, nozzle, everything assembly, the upper gearbox assembly basically, and that is the lower gearbox assembly. And Frank, you were saying it does have electronic. Does it have electronic fire control unit?
No, it does not have electronic fire
So
control
is it
unit.
all mechanical?
Inside, the switch assembly actually looks very similar to whatever you would find in a version 2 and
Okay.
gearbox. So yeah,
All right.
it's just regular wires. The gears are, they do they're pretty much AEG gears, but instead of having 18 teeth, it has no.
All right, I won't break it, guys. I promise.
Instead of having how many teeth? But
Okay, it has 13 teeth,
okay.
so it's 3 less than 16 teeth. 17 teeth.
It has
That's
less
right.
teeth.
It has less teeth. Yeah, the piston is actually smaller, so everything in here is proprietary. So the spring guide is actually the back cap. The spring is gonna be a little bit shorter. It actually looks similar to the PTW spring. So unless we releases different springs.
Do they have different cylinders?
Not that I've seen yet.
Okay, so the cylinder will remain the
But
same if you want to change the
I'm pretty
FPS.
sure they do. This cylinder right here actually does 400 FPS.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the piston is actually a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. And the fire control is actually like a PTW, where there's a hole in the piston head, and it actually, as you draw the piston back, it'll actually pull the nozzle back as I break the pin. But it pulls the nozzle back.
Effectively doing what the tap
To-
plate would do.
Yeah,
To
to
load the baby.
load the
Okay.
baby.
Sounds good.
Where'd you get that pen?
You understand what's going on,
Where'd you get that pen?
It doesn't matter.
I had a red pen in here. Damn it.
Not anymore, you know.
Hat is the keyboard.
I know. I said it past tense.
That looks like just like every other pin we have.
Where am I going to get another GI pen?
We have lots of
You
jobs.
asked
I know,
him,
I
so
know.
he has
There's
a
a
big
pile
box
of
up
them.
front.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so here it is, right here. So as you pull the piston back, you'll see the nozzles moving back.
Gotcha.
That's how it's loading the BB. And there's a little O-ring, a little capture, so when it gets to a certain part of the stroke, it'll actually release the nozzle so it seals again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So it's more like, well, you said it correctly, it's like a mixture between an ICS and a PTW.
Yeah.
Okay, and to change the FPS, it sounds like you just change the cab, you don't have to change the whole cylinder.
Yeah, you can change
The
the
spring.
spring if they make them available, or they might just sell the entire cylinder.
But if they make it with, because the PTWs, I don't think you can disassemble the cylinder, can you?
Yes, you can.
Oh, really?
You can disassemble this cylinder.
So theoretically, with a PTW, you don't need to buy different cylinders, you just change the springs in?
Yeah, but they don't sell the springs. Aftermarket companies do.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It is actually, it does make changing your FPS really easy if you just take out the upper gearbox and put a whole new one in. So even if it's a little more expensive, I think the ease of use definitely makes it worthwhile. What about the hop-up assembly? Are we talking about a regular
Yep,
AEG
that's a
hop-up?
standard AEG, standard M4 hop unit.
Okay, cool.
Pull that out for everybody.
So
to
the
see.
WeTW is a mixture between a PTW and a regular AEG.
Mhm.
Nito Mosquito. And it's a full metal body. Do we know what they're going to sell for?
I do not know at this point. This is just a sample because we heard about them and we're like, hey,
We want to see what's up.
buddies in Taiwan, send us one.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And then our buddies over here in customs delayed actually the arrival of it.
That always happens. It's pretty
Yeah.
standard, actually.
Yeah, but from what I remember, yeah. So if the gear set ever goes out, you can't upgrade them with standard AEG gears. You just need to lop off 3 teeth off the end of the stroke,
Oh,
the
cool.
end of the sector gear, and it works just fine in here.
Cool. Very, very cool. Lots
Not
of crazy
much.
new technology. Actually, it's not really new technology, but it's just new guns coming out.
Yeah.
But they're all the same gun, actually, because it's all M4s. But
Yeah,
they're new.
everybody starts with an M4, so
Yeah.
if you guys don't like it, stop buying M4s.
Mm. Booyah.
There you go.
Cool, yeah.
Sweet.
So, Bob, that was a highly technical discussion. Do you have anything to add?
Are you gonna
It's
buy this
plastic. No, I don't
It's
know. No, the main body is metal. This is polymer. This is polymer as well.
Same as a standard M4.
Honestly, like as much as I like the 2-piece gearbox, which I saw a lot of them at SHOT Show, the one thing that I don't like is I feel like it makes the center of the gun much more
Someone's like, Bob was like, I like trains.
I like turtles. No, I just think some of the 2-piece gearbox guns weigh a little bit heavier, at least in the center of the gun. Or what is the word I'm looking for? Oh well, doesn't matter. I just feel like they're a little bit heavier than they need to be, or for me personally. And the 2-piece gearbox isn't as big of a selling point for me since I'm not going to be doing a lot of tech work. I just want a gun that's ready to go right out of the bag. So
It's still ready to go.
That's
right now.
why, because if you have 2 cylinders and you go play CQB, all you gotta do is
is switch it out, right? Yeah.
So
It's actually
yeah.
easy enough you might be able to do it.
Whoa.
So easy, Bob
Whoa.
can do it. That should be the tagline.
Back up.
So easy, Bob can do
I
it.
just remember when Gene came over to the house to work in your LM4, and you were like, I don't know.
I was like,
And Gene was like-
explain to me as if I'm a child, because
And that's still
I
the
am.
Gene was like, no, you just pull
Yeah.
it all apart. And
Just
then
take out the body pins, crack it open, and then you just got to make sure to pull out the charging handle with the bolt. So
Correct.
I was like, oh, that's easy. Why didn't you say so before? He's like, well, you wouldn't let me talk.
Well, your LM4 is just like a real gun, though, so you've never done that with a real AR?
To be honest, I've never taken apart a relay AR.
What
You
is
have
it?
it everywhere?
No, it doesn't. I've taken apart a shotgun, taken apart a bolt action rifle, taken apart a pistol.
Okay.
Those are all guns I own.
So the battery on this is actually not in the handguard, it's actually in the buffer
In the
tube,
buffer
and it's
tube.
gonna be like that.
Is it going to have a proprietary battery, or can you use just any old battery?
Battery that fits
Because the
into a buffer
PTWs
tube.
did have, I mean, you could use other batteries, but they had like special PTW batteries
Well, the
that system
PTWs
sold
were designed to run
on a 9.6.
their battery, and their battery, depending on what cylinder you had, would give you a realistic rate of fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be realistic.
Oh, okay.
You know, so guys saying, "Oh, I want my high-speed PTW," that's not what it was designed for.
Oh,
Now, you can
okay.
push it like that, but you know,
It
you
wasn't
can,
made for it.
Yeah, but that's
Gotcha.
not what it's made for.
Somebody on the Ustream chat said, so easy an accident can do it.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
and I was
yeah.
like, that's a clever
That's a
tagline.
good
Yeah.
one.
Thank
Just
you
like
for
the
that.
caveman thing. But yeah, I was actually really excited when Wallace came in and said that they're bringing the PTWs back. I think that's a really cool gun
Yeah,
that
they're
needs to
gonna
come
be
back.
really expensive.
Well, you know,
Probably-
they
hopefully
sold in
cheaper
the
than
past.
that, yeah.
They'll probably sell now. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that have the means to do
I
that.
think the one I seen was a Lewis machine upper.
Ooh, I have seen that too. I think.
Made for PTW, and the lower was a Sun Devil or something like that. Lowers.
Oh, I don't
It's
know.
actually a company out in Arizona that make it, like a custom AR lowers, and it's
Huh.
like a one-piece billet lower.
Wow.
Awesome.
There was,
I don't
I
think
heard
it
somebody
is.
talking about that at SHOT Show about how they're going to do some stuff to where they can basically translate that over
Yeah.
for real steel
Well,
and kind of stuff.
because Z-Shot's booth is always right behind that company Sun Devil, so all they got to do is like
Talk with each other.
This guy right here, he does the rubber receivers.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Mm.
Somebody asked what rail you had in your LM4, Tim. Is that the VTEC?
That is the Maple VTEC 11-inch free float rail system.
Which you have a shorter version of as well.
Josh has the 9-inch version on his guns.
And we're not saying like Tim copied Josh or anything. I mean, we're not alluding to that.
I think he did.
Because
Yeah.
it's the same rail, verbatim. The same rail.
No, it's not.
Tim,
Mine's longer.
Tim, how many rails do you have attached to your rail currently? How many rail platforms do you have?
3.
Do you have them all attached right now?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I could have swore it was completely smooth.
No, it's never been. Ever since
No wrinkles.
Gene installed the rail for me.
Okay.
It's had all 3 rail systems on it.
Okay.
Well, just
Compensating for something.
yeah, exactly.
Longer rail than Josh.
Very
I
good.
get
It
it.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever. You guys know how I picked that rail system.
Yes, we do.
Anyway,
Not
speaking
very
of
carefully.
pistols, we have 2 really cool customs in front of us. Bob, you want to pick those up very carefully?
Yep, I'm gonna pull the blue one out because it's my favorite color.
Bob likes blue. You're
Start-
my boy, blue.
You're my boy! Oh, sweet. It's got the extended mag release
Yes,
on here,
it
just like
does.
the last one.
Mhm.
This is also called the Tiger Cat. Thankfully, it's not the Timber Wolf, so it sounds much cooler this
Is
way.
that a short-stroked slide? No.
You know, this may sound stupid because I'm making a car reference, but I believe the Dodge Charger or the Dodge Challenger has like a front grille that juts out on the bottom and makes it look more menacing, just like this pistol.
I don't think that the Charger or Challenger has that type of bumper.
No, there is one car that came out recently that has, like, it's more of a hot rod style thing where the bottom part comes out further than the hood does.
Most race or sports cars might have something like that to add down to the car.
Oh, I think it's purely a looks thing.
Maybe if it's an OEM type of bumper, but I don't recall what you're talking about. That is designed that way to shoot gas up, pushing the barrel
So
down.
it keeps straight.
It helps mitigate the recoil.
That is really cool looking.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But this is one of those target on site customs, right,
Yeah.
Frank? And the idea behind this gun is a custom made gun that doesn't break the bank. Much.
Good that you
It
quantify that.
doesn't break the bank as much as an F2 custom would. But you know, you still get a good quality gun that you don't have to pay a whole lot of money for. So before Bob breaks it, Bob, Frank, how much does that gun cost?
Gonna break that one?
No,
not
it's just
gonna
always
break it.
it's always a something we have to consider whenever Bob picks up a gun.
Man,
How many guns have I picked up and broken on the live
a
show?
lot.
I don't know,
On
but
the live show?
an F2
Okay.
custom like this would probably be
Yeah, so this
11,
one is
1200
$725.
so that's about $400 or $500 cheaper than an F2 custom would be of equivalent caliber.
It's a different way of stippling too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Yes.
But why is it so much more affordable? Frank at $700.
Okay, so for one, the base gun is a SOCOM Gear Black Ops
Mhm.
pistol instead of the Tokyo Marui High Kappa.
So the difference in base gun helps you save a little bit more.
Right, you save a little bit of money there,
Mhm.
and it's not loaded with a lot of parts. Like the ones that I build have upgraded hammers and a lot
Different
of parts.
triggers, all that
triggers are
stuff.
different, and I go in there and I actually stone all the surfaces to make sure they're as smooth as possible. So a lot more work goes into the FG customs.
Oh yeah.
That's not to say that the target on sight guns are bad. They're just a more affordable option
Yeah.
than the F2 customs are.
Yeah, so if we're talking about if these were real guns, this one would be more like a production STI,
Mhm.
like the Grandmasters and stuff, which are, I mean, they're still built by a gunsmith, but it's not like buying, like, say, an Infinity or even a real Limcat pistol.
The Landlord Eliminator 5000 XL.
What is
Landlord
that?
Eliminator.
I think they're just calling that gun that.
Oh,
That's not a nice thing to say.
No, it's not. I just like the 5000
Especially if
XL.
you live at home.
He says
Come on.
Binford. No.
Binford.
Binford.
Oh, Binford.
Full-time.
That makes so much more
Full-time.
sense.
Full-time.
Home improvement.
Well, yeah, but-
reference.
Shoot, I thought there was Binford 5000 is always 5000 added on to whatever it was.
Well, I mean, definitely the difference in parts choice helps save a little bit of money. I mean, I can tell right off the bat because I've used the F2 customs that you've made before they ship out that, the trigger's definitely a lot smoother on your guns, Frank. I don't know if any trigger work is done to something like this, but those are kind of like the intangible things that, you can tell people, but you're not going to be able to see it from the pictures.
Yeah,
So
you actually have to feel it.
you
to
have to
shoot
feel
the
it, you have to
pistol,
shoot it. That's what really makes the difference. It's the finer details between a $1,200 pistol versus a $700 pistol.
Yeah, so a lot of people in the chat are asking questions like, well, who would ever pay for this? This is way out of my budget. But the,
I don't
the
know.
fact
We
is,
sold the last one.
Well, no. I mean,
How much was that last one?
$650.
aside from the price tag, you guys need to realize that this is the same equivalent of, like, a professional shooter would buy this pistol to train in his backyard and not shoot 9mm bullets through his neighbor's house.
That's expensive
Yeah.
now too.
And
And
9mm rounds are very expensive.
And that
So-
same professional shooter probably paid about $10,000 for his pistol.
Right, so $600 is a drop in the bucket for a training purpose tool. So really, like, you guys are looking at this from a different perspective. We're not selling this to, like, your average guy who's playing at CQB City. I mean, you can if you want to. You're going to look like a total badass.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's really
fun.
not built for that. So, if you're spending $10,000 on a pistol, $600 for training on every day that you can, and your ammo costs, 10,000 rounds for $10, it's a totally different idea. So,
If I saw someone using that Attack City just blasting fools, I'd be pretty impressed.
I actually used mine
I've seen
at
Frank
Playground.
use his.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen Frank use his.
It was
custom
like, it
built
was
I was
like,
there.
it was,
back in the day.
on pistol nights I used to use my TM, but I remember the one that I shoot, like, if there was like an Airsoft IPSC competition, I'd be using my Western Arms. And that one, I remember we're at an Airsoft playground, they're like, oh, let's have a zombie game, but you can only use pistols. I was like, oh, the only pistol I have is my competition pistol. Oh, dang.
Zero.
I had it all gassed up, ready to go in like less than 5 minutes. I was like, all right, let's go, let's play.
Headshot. Yeah. Wow.
Why not? But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I have been at Airsoft Playground. I think this was before I was an employee, and I saw Frank with his custom pistols there. Pretty gnarly stuff. But yeah, I mean, Josh is definitely correct. I mean, there is a different purpose for Airsoft than just for recreational play. If you're just an average Airsofter that, is going to be playing Airsoft on a regular basis, this is probably not the pistol you want to add to your arsenal. But if you are a professional shooter, or maybe, an amateur shooter that wants to practice and not spend thousands of dollars on ammo every month, a couple hundred on an Airsoft pistol, literally 10 or 20 bucks in BBs, and you've got yourself a good training pistol right there.
Yeah, and you train in your garage. You don't have to drive all the way out to a range.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Keith Garcia does, that 3 Gun Nation shooter that you know, we've mentioned this numerous times, that he won the 3-Gun Nation shootout in Vegas while we were in SHOT Show.
You were in the article.
I was. He wrote an article about using Airsoft as a training tool, and you know, he asked me a couple of questions. I submitted them via email and kind of gave the article a little bit of background about Airsoft, because obviously the article is going to be read by a lot of people that aren't as familiar with Airsoft as we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely cool. Keith has a TM 5.1 high kappa that he uses to train with, and he has a custom-built KWA LM4 that Frank put together for him for training with his rifle.
I'm not rolling my eyes at Keith Garcia. I'm rolling my eyes that he had the same pistol that Tim had.
Well, a lot of people use the 5.1. Frank has numerous 5.1s. Yeah. Anybody that knows anything about Airsoft has an Airsoft has a 5.1 from TM.
Whatever.
Why, you don't have a 5.1?
No, I could never. Well, I guess I could have afforded one at one point, but instead I bought.
He bought a TM 226.
Oh yeah, but I got it. It was already fully upgraded. That was actually the most expensive pistol I ever bought.
You should have bought 5.1.
I don't know, man.
Should've
I
bought
really wanted a SIG after I saw some Navy SEALs using 226s.
Yeah, Navy SEAL's cool, but the 5.1 is definitely the Airsoft pistol to get.
Whatever.
Oh. Yeah, but we have another targets on site.
You brought us 2 of them this time.
Indeed. So the first one that Targets on Site brought us sold out, and so now we have 2 of them to add to the arsenal. We have this one, and Bob, gingerly pick up that one. Silver play. So Frank, tell us about this model gun.
Wow.
Any date?
Sorry, just double
Well,
checking.
I'm
Oh,
making
you're waiting.
sure
Okay.
Bob doesn't break the pistol. Okay, so this one has, I mean, it's basically
made
got
from the same base gun?
features. Yeah.
Okay,
Same base gun. The slide. Now these are a little bit more, actually, yeah, they're a little bit more expensive than the last one we had because the slides are actually a lot better quality. It's from a different manufacturer.
Okay.
Yeah, so not much of a difference, but these 2 slides are actually machined and made in Hong Kong in a machine shop.
Okay.
And the last gun had
That's
a
a Georgia.
slide that was just kind of the company that basically copied these ones. So the build quality on the other slide wasn't as nice as these. These are the slides that I use on the FG Customs. The brands.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if
But
you look on the website.
That one is probably going to be a little bit more affordable because the grip is not
it's gonna
stable.
get
The grip is not stable
Sorry, go.
and
Doesn't have a
doesn't
mag
have a
well.
mag
Doesn't show
well.
up on
Okay.
the thing anymore.
Yeah.
So this was $725. You said.
$725.
How much is that?
This one is actually $699.
Okay. So it's a
Because
little bit more
it's a
affordable.
little bit more affordable, but like I said, the slide, the actual base cost of the slide, these slides sell for $320. The other slide sold for about $200.
Nice.
I'm kind of curious about the fact that these both have the exact same style red dot, just slightly off color. Is this like a standard sight for shooting like
A
this?
lot of shooters like to use the Seymours.
Okay.
C-mini sights.
C mini sights.
It's actually a Seymour sight, but you just call it C-Mini.
C mini. Yes.
C-mini. Yeah.
Is that the actual name of the company?
No.
Okay.
That's what we call it.
Yeah, that's what we call them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even on my competition Glock, I have a Seymour sight on it. So this is what a lot of people like to use.
Now, is the reason the Seymour sights are popular is because they're lightweight?
Yes.
That's what I was getting at, because I really wanted to get one for my LM4 to keep with the lightweight trend, but it's kind of hard to use a Seymour sight on an AR with a face mask, so I opted to go with something else.
Yeah, you need
Rise
a
it up.
riser. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, but it is because of the weight. Because if you notice the other one, a lot of people used to run aim points on them before the Seymours really got popular.
Yeah.
Actually, before they came out. I remember 10 years ago they would run those Bushnell sights on these things.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you know those carriers that you see on top of vans. That's
Yeah.
what the Bushnell sights look like. So it was just big honking piece of sight there.
I mean, it's not that the Bushnells and the aim points are heavy, but they're heavy compared to these.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're talking about shooting for competition, you definitely want the lightest thing possible so that you don't fatigue yourself. But yeah, these Targets on Site Customs are pretty awesome guns, and they are more affordable training options for any of you shooters out there or anyone else that just wants to have an awesome gun.
I think this is what is the name of this? Like the
Slide wrecker.
Slide racker. I was gonna say slide rack. Yeah. I think this is probably the coolest one out of the bunch I've seen. Yeah, this just looks so unforgivably badass.
Unforgivably badass. Cool.
That fits, right? Thank you.
Okay.
All right. No stippling though, but
No stippling.
different style of grip.
Yeah.
So gear grip.
just the standard.
It's the standard.
Yeah, it says SOCOM gear on it, so. Cool. Well, that is mother loving awesome.
So that pretty much covers all of the guns that we have here to talk about. We've discussed the sale this weekend. Did we discuss TVB yet?
We did not, but we could talk about how our G3 gun game guns went online.
That's already old news. Oh, actually no. The guns themselves went up online.
Sort of like
recently.
what I said.
Yes, exactly what Bob said is correct. The guns are now online.
Isn't that weird?
It's not weird. Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, the G3 gun game video's been up for a little while. I think it's been up for a week or so now. And the guns from that video just went up online recently. So if you're interested in any of the awesome guns that we built, mine specifically probably is what you're most interested in.
Yours is so expensive.
Josh and my's gun is expensive because Josh and I have expensive guns.
A rough grammar there.
Because ours are the only ones with rail systems.
Yeah, and well, I was gonna have a rail system, like I have some rails
No,
up
like
front.
a rail handguard.
I have
Ours
a rail
came with it.
handguard.
I know, but you had to put it on after the fact.
No, mine came with rails on the bottom.
A rail on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also came with a top. Oh, no, it didn't.
Yeah, that's the point in front of me. I would have had 2 rails.
But one was commandeered for other purposes. Josh isn't paying attention, he's moderating.
I can do that too.
Typing with
Freaked out the
someone else.
therapist. I was like, yeah, tell me your life story. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, those G3s are available, but TVB is actually a very interesting story. Bob, you are currently in the lead again for
Oh, really?
signups. Yeah,
No kidding.
just barely by 7 signups right now.
Barely by 7.
We've sold 284 tickets so far.
Wow.
So there are only 216 spaces left for anybody that wants to go to the game.
I knew it was gonna be a close shave, and we're like what? Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks
We're
away?
4 weeks out.
I don't have a
fro-
watch.
of TVB.
I haven't worn a watch for like 8 years.
But you still look at it.
I still look at just to screw with people like Frank. They're like, did you? And sometimes they'll be like, did you? I don't care.
But yeah, TVB, the signups are filling up. We're over halfway done, and we still have about a month left. So if you're interested in going to TVB, the game is taking place in Chesapeake, Virginia, at Ball Hack Airsoft Field. You need to get your signups in because you may not have a chance to go if you don't.
50 players.
Yep.
There's 284 players.
And if you
right
guys live close to Battle Hack, I would highly suggest you stock up on cold smoke grenades ahead of time. They seem to go through them really fast, and if you want to use a smoke grenade and you don't have it, that's a crappy situation. So make sure to stock up on those, but yeah, make sure you join my team.
Yeah, the game is taking place March 16th, so like we said, it's a little over a month out.
Wow.
And the game is capped at 500 players.
How do they
so-
keep doing that?
What happened?
Well, basically, all they're doing is just spamming, then leaving before I can kick them. So
Wow. Huh.
it's a pretty simple system.
You don't need to read it. It's not a big deal.
Let's see it. Okay.
Yeah, so that game is coming up. We actually just came out with an animated recap of how the entire Tim vs. Bob series is going. Our graphics department, I think, really knocked it out of the park. It looks awesome. Tim is in it, so that's okay.
Really, you weren't
You know,
covered that?
In
No, I
the Tim
just-
versus Bob game.
You just kind of hope for you not to be there.
Great Bob.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, in order for there to be a superhero, there's got to be a supervillain, right?
I don't know why you
So-
pointed at me at supervillain. It's really like
Because you're clearly the
you
bad
held
guy.
food back from babies and children
I did
to
not.
starve
You
their mothers
made
and
that up.
supporting.
You made that
You ate
up.
a steak while they starved.
Nobody was starving. Everybody else had a
I
steak.
didn't make
just-
you eat that
didn't
steak. You
fill
ate the
anybody
steak by
else.
yourself.
The steak was there, and it was elsewhere
It
also.
was supposed to go to the school right around the corner.
Whatever. They already had their fill, Bob. That's what your
They had their
propaganda
fill on
is not working.
sawdust bread.
No, they had their juicy steaks just as well.
It's ridiculous.
Frank has no idea what's going on.
He uses food as a weapon.
I do not use food as a weapon. I use guns as a weapon. What kind of
Along
idiot
with
would throw
food.
food at you?
How do you use food as a weapon?
You never been in a food fight where you never starved someone? Dude? Okay.
No one can starve me to death.
You ever seen the movie Alive?
Is that one with where he's trapped?
Yeah.
They crash an airplane.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
This group of like Olympians or like college students crashes an airplane and they have to survive in this snow-covered landscape.
Oh yeah, they like ate each other.
They ended up eating other people. Some of the larger folks went first for food. Actually, there
That
was one
sounds
guy.
a lot like
there was
Lord of
one-
the Flies or something like that.
Similar, but Lord of the Flies is on an island, not a snow-capped landscape.
Yeah.
But there's one guy who's actually a much larger fellow who's able to survive more because of all the reserves built up in his body. But the other bigger guy, I guess, got eaten. So, ooh, 50.
Because he couldn't run away or something? Or?
I don't know. Couldn't hack it.
I think he just died, didn't he?
Yeah,
If
expired.
you're last in the line and someone's passed away and the body's right there and you gotta survive, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I guess
There's some life and death. I'll eat that guy every time. I bet he tastes sweet too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's
All the
not
sugar.
more salty.
Yeah, from the sugar. No, from the sugar, man.
Tell me a funny joke.
Tell me another one.
The Die I4. I guess we're just going to take questions probably for the rest of the
Oh.
night. No?
Oh, sorry.
Why?
No, you can.
Why?
This is when the chat gets up
Oh,
ridiculous.
about the questions? I mean, people ask questions anyway, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but when you say it's question time,
It's
everybody
question time.
spams
Everybody
immediately.
spam questions.
Not all at the same time.
Josh, what is your YouTube channel?
My personal YouTube channel is not done yet, so
Have you guys seen Human Centipede? Nope. Don't care to either.
I've seen the South Park version called Human Centipad.
quite comical.
Quite
It was
comical.
actually aired on network television, so we can talk
best
about
We
it.
can go to southparkstudios.com.
Checking on guns.
There's a hack TV station in Montana that made a PSA about zombies.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was.
Where did that happen? I mean, I know it happened in Montana. More specifically.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The best way to check on guns. You buy one of our boneyard guns and you get it to work.
Correct.
You just have to take it apart. There's no like University of Airsoft or anything like that.
It's fine. It's actually the same thing. One of my roommates told me about editing is that you just got to go in there and try it, and that way you'll learn a lot faster and more
Yeah.
intuitively.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think anybody has the patience to teach someone else how to.
Yes,
edit.
I
That's
can
really
say
tough.
banana.
I'm a
Banana.
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 I'm a banana. Banana. What's a PSA? Public service announcement. You guys should start teaching tech classes. I think that we tried to do like some sort of tech seminar a couple years ago. Was that was a safety
No,
seminar?
that was a safety seminar.
Okay. That didn't turn out too well.
Yeah.
We've done back to basics, but that's just like describing things.
Back to basics is normally just a very, very brief overview, and we don't really discuss like how-to tech stuff, but we discuss like, pistons, the different types, bushing, stuff like that. Internal parts, we talk about them in case you have absolutely no knowledge. But once you get beyond that basic step, you pretty much need to figure out how it all works on your own.
All right, so I'm trying to field some of these questions.
Favorite ice cream?
Strawberry.
John's not first. Lime.
Vanilla.
Actually, rainbow sherbet.
Rainbow sherbet.
But lime ice cream back home from
Rainbow.
Dwarf.
Is sherbet an ice cream?
I believe sherbet, but I just call it sherbet.
Sherbet. No, I think there's an R there, right? Sherbet.
No, I believe it's actually sherbet.
Do not buy a gas blowback pistol under $100.
Is that what you're saying, or is that what someone else said?
Someone was asking what the best one was for under $100. I said, do not buy one.
Yeah, usually the budget ones are around like 110, 120. Yeah.
Well, we're actually in our wholesale deal section. I think that we have a lot of WE pistols for under $90. Those are very, very affordable. Yeah, here we go. $85, $85. Check out our
Lord, those
wholesale
are
deal
really good
section.
deals.
Oh, wow.
If
But
you've
see,
got-
even though they're retailing.
Oh yeah, they normally sell for over 100.
Okay, so my argument will still stand.
Yeah, so I mean these pistols are normally 117, 120, something like that, but they're currently in our wholesale deal section for under $100. So I don't know who it was that asked that question. If you only got $100 to spend, check out the wholesale deal section on our website.
This is very distracting.
You can even get
Because there's like a delay
you can get
Yeah,
that.
there is.
I just saw you can get that JG T3 SAS, like the gun that I based my gun off of for the G3 gun game. You can get them on a wholesale section for like $95.
Yeah, super cheap.
That's ridiculous.
Super cheap
It's like
AEG.
Lance Tactical or this thing. That's awesome.
Pretty good guns.
Yeah.
Or you can buy Bob's customized one and get one that's already built.
Well, it's already built. It's got a lot of stuff in it that's going to make the gun last, and you don't have to pay as much as you would for the techs to put like a brand new gun together, I believe.
Indeed.
Yeah. So,
Indeed.
pretty
Anytime
solid
you
deal.
can buy a pre-built anything, you usually save yourself time and money.
See.
Are you holding on to a question, Josh, first, or are you just...
No.
No? Okay. Somebody asked how the reliability is with the Ares LMG. I don't have one, so I don't know what the long-term
Just wanna get that
reliability
question out
is.
before you say anything
Generally
else.
speaking, Ares stuff is pretty solid, give or take. Huh?
We've sold quite a few of them, and we haven't had too many come back.
Quite a few
so-
what?
Ares LMGs.
LMGs.
Stoner LMG?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Knight's Armament like worked with them very closely to make sure they were as accurate as possible, and also so that a quality gun would come out, and not that it wouldn't from Aries, but the fact is that they were very interested in, you know, how active the airsoft market is, and they're putting a lot of effort in to make sure that some great guns come out.
Yeah, I haven't
It's a
done
solid
too many
gun.
back, so it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I can't wait for the chainsaw.
Bob, where did you play airsoft when you lived in Bakersfield?
You know, sadly, I haven't really played much airsoft in Bakersfield because at the time there wasn't really a whole lot of airsoft or any airsoft available in Bakersfield. I mainly played in my backyard. I did get to play at Operation Lion Claws 1, which was at Pozo Creek, where Target Zone Paintball used to be, and where folks back in Bakersfield actually still play airsoft. But yeah, no, honestly, I haven't been able to play airsoft back in a while. I haven't been able to go home, which is why I'm going to go home very soon. So, miss my family.
There was a Tehachapi AO that was hosted at Lion Claw that I think John was mentioned. Isn't that?
Yeah,
one?
quite a while ago.
Or maybe it was that LC 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, no, I missed out on both 2 and 3 because I didn't sign up
on
in time.
So don't let that happen to you,
Yeah,
TB4.
God, I was so crestfallen. I was just so upset that I was like I was literally at the store to gear up for that game. They're like, oh, it's sold out, and like all these people turn around and they're like, that sucks, guy. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. Why did I drive 2 hours to go to the store if I didn't?
For next year, Bob, so you can be prepared.
But then it happened again next year.
You just gotta pay attention, Bob.
Like Bob, show up last.
Right when you're about
Last
to leave.
minute.
I'm
Bob.
very lost right now. What are you guys talking about?
We were just talking about some old stories of signing up for Lion Claws games, and for 2 and 3, I literally missed out the last second.
He was at another retail store before Airsoft GI existed.
Yes.
To purchase gear for
Unacceptable.
Lion Claws, and he was like, "Oh, you going to Lion Claws, Bob? Yeah, I am. Are you signed up? No, I'm not. Oh, well, it's sold out. Oh,
Twice.
I guess I don't need this gear then."
Okay, so
I still
somebody
bought
asked
stuff.
me what upgrades to put in the VFC 416. The VFC 416, along with any other VFC M4, will take every upgrade part available. They're not picky as opposed to like compatibility. We like to use the Magic Box parts in the department.
Magic Box makes solid parts.
It's nice, solid parts that work very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
So check them out.
Indeed.
See?
Where's the Katana?
The katana's right here.
Right here.
Doesn't look anything like a real katana. I don't really know why they called it that. It's weird.
Because
You can chop it open. Psh.
It's not more of a, that's
Somebody
not more of a
asked,
chopping, it was more of a slicing one.
So I could add just a bunch of items to my cart along with the gun, and the techs would put it together for me?
Yes.
You need to put also in
Oh,
your cart the tech labor. Yeah. So in the left-hand categories column on our website, we have a section called Upgrade Service.
Upgrade service.
AEG Upgrade Service. So go into that section, you'll see a section where it says tech labor. I believe is it $45, Frank?
Yeah, it's gonna be called tune-up repair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tune-up
it's
repair is
$45.
$45. That
Yeah.
will tell us that the gun and the parts need to be assembled.
And
But also,
then-
it doesn't hurt to email or call us. You know, we have our live chat line. You can reach us a lot of different ways: via email, via phone, via our live chat. So just call us with your order number. We can get everything sorted out if you have any questions.
Oh, here, leave me for a second. Someone did say Frank's beard is mesmerizing.
Is it?
Bob, you're my hero. Thank you very much, Krusty Baboons. Quite a darn good name.
Krusty Baboon.
Yeah, interesting. I guess people do a Krusty the Clown impression pretty well.
Airsoft Oakley, don't worry, there probably will be a TVB for tactical gearheads if it hasn't changed so much from the past games, but I don't think it has.
I don't have a lot of.
I'll be
different
changing
gear
my
from
tactical gear.
TVB3. Really?
Well, yeah, I don't want to wear the same Cyrus I've been wearing it for so long. One, it is getting a little heavy, but I'm not that, I don't have that big of an issue with heavy gear. I just want to like have some different gear that I'm comfortable running regularly. That's a little bit lighter.
Okay.
So
I don't really have much to change on my gear, so. I mean, I'll still do the episode for sure, so you guys can see. But
maybe just change one thing.
maybe
Just like the textbooks in college. They change one thing so you buy one next year.
bam, new version, $140.
Bingo. Damn it. Can't have class without this version book.
Yeah,
Such
that was
BS.
bull crap.
And then you sell them back, it's like, all right, well, give you $3 for this book.
Yeah.
Are you aware that the price of college textbooks is like increased more than I think it was any other commodity in the United States?
Because they realized they had a market.
Yeah, it's
They can just
actually
change
unreal.
like 2 words and force you to buy a new one, which
It's dumb.
they'll probably do it with the
They do it every
universities.
year. Yeah. What else? You guys see
What
anything
else?
I saw a couple, but as I was reading it, like disappeared.
You guys should do a round the country tour.
Okay, Bone Home. He's been asking about the Dicam with Desert BDU.
Yeah.
Sure, that
think
probably
so.
looks good. I mean, you know, Dicam is supposed to look like multicam, so it'll look best with that. But you know, if your face mask doesn't really match your BDUs, it doesn't really affect your play too much. So I don't think you should worry about that too much. Those are the finer details that I don't really pay attention to. I will wear my Dicam face mask. with
Just
camouflage.
keep shooting and someone else will take care of the objectives.
Exactly. Oh, that worked out so well during TVB3 also.
No, it's actually a really smart strategy.
Dude, I totally should have gone to that game.
Dude, you should have done the plan that we talked about.
I had
Do you remember
a
that plan?
sweet plan, yeah.
That would have been so badass.
That would've
Can we
been
tell people about
so
it?
much fun.
Okay, do you know about this plan?
I think you told me, but I forgot.
Okay, well, Frank would have showed up with like whatever badass gun he was recently working on, hopefully a race pistol. But you know that there's an area basically near the center of the field, near where you go out, like by the parking lot. That basically, if he came out there, he'd be in the middle of both our forces.
Mm-hmm.
He was just gonna come up and be like, "Let's do this, bitches!" and just take on everyone.
Everyone versus Frank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That would've been pretty
just start blasting on both sides.
yeah, that would have been awesome.
Just walk on. I feel like being on Tim's team.
Yes.
And play for a little bit. I'm in a bad position. I'm gonna turn around and go the other direction. I'm gonna be on Bob's team.
Yeah, it's good.
Somebody asked, is there a new Magic Box MOSFET that will be coming out?
No.
Denmark.
There you go. That's your answer. Nope. Unfortunately.
Not right now.
Frank, will the FMG carbine come with a free flow Riz? That is in the picture.
Which picture are you looking at?
He linked the item earlier, but I'm not really 100% sure.
Any of the pre-orders, which there's only 6 of them, but what you see on the gun is what it's basically going to have. So if it's the Talon, it's going to be the Talon kit.
Yeah, I mean, the FMG4s, they're all going to be configured differently, just like our regular G4s, so I don't really understand the question fully.
Yeah, yeah. So what you see in the picture is, what you're going to get, essentially.
Frank, do you have a latest project you're working on? Recent project?
You guys are actually the PTTs, the Perfect Tactical Trainers, which
PTTs?
I haven't.
Sure,
really
we'll call it that.
finished them.
Perfect tactical trainer. Huh?
The Perfect Tactical Trainers are a lineup of guns that have real gun rail systems on them.
Oh right, I remember you bring that in.
We've
Damn.
had a couple of models in
No.
the past.
We haven't brought. We didn't
No,
bring
you
any
talk-
of
I
those
think
in,
you
but
brought
we
one
had
over.
them before. Oh no, we had one
during Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we did
why,
have
yeah,
one.
Okay.
Yeah, we did have one. Sorry.
That was a really badass intro.
Yeah.
Hope we do something like that again.
We did have one, so I'm probably gonna add to that. They are gonna be very expensive, like in the $900 to $1,000 range. So it's not gonna be for everyone.
Well, that's why the name is Perfect Tactical Trainer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm actually waiting on a certain SCAR wrist system, so I can build a custom SCAR. But
No, not the SSR. I think I know what you're talking about that.
But
I bet you know.
I've already done the PWS
Unreal.
SRX rail, so it's not that one. It's gonna be a
It's gonna
different
be
one.
something different, and it looks way
And
cooler. if I
Maybe
might.
someday Josh will actually buy a SCAR.
Probably never gonna buy a
They're
Scar.
expensive, man.
To be
It's like one of those things that we always talk about.
I don't get it. You guys ever heard of Springfield XD?
Not familiar with that
Josh,
game.
Josh,
What
you don't know
exactly?
how much I mentioned that pistol before I bought it. Like constantly.
The Springfield XD.
Bob was contemplating buying an XD, and every time we hung out with the Blackwatch guys, Bob would forget that he told us last time that he's thinking about getting a Springfield XD. And he'd be like, "Hey, guys, I'm really thinking about getting a pistol. Have you heard of the Springfield SC?"
They're like,
As
yeah.
if Springfield is not a popular enough gun brand. Like Springfield?
I remember-
I don't know if I recognize that.
I remember
manufacturer.
Buddha even gave me an XD hat, and I was like, "What did I tell you? I was going to get a Springfield XD pistol." And he's like,
Yeah, but
"That's
that's
why the
why I
hat's here,
gave you
man." Yeah. That was actually the first gun I ever personally purchased, so
There
put a
you
lot of
go.
thought into that.
Yeah, we know.
Tiger Frank, are you coming back?
Thanks.
Oh, maybe, maybe not.
What?
I'm answering Tiger Lily's question.
Where's Tiger Lily?
That's
What?
Tiger Lily, seeing the delay right there was really funny. Where's Tiger Lily?
Okay. Okay. That's a good name for her. Isn't that a flower?
Yes, it
Tiger
is.
Lily?
It is. It probably is.
Yeah.
Anyone from Rhode Island? Not I, said the cat.
It's from a book, I believe, isn't
It
it?
is from a book. I don't remember what it is, but I remember
Dr.
reading it as
Seuss?
a kid. No, I don't think it was Dr. Seuss.
Bob, you're the most awesome American of all time. All right. That is just being too nice. Let me refer to this wonderful little gentleman named George Washington. That was one hell of an American, but I really appreciate that.
George Washington?
Yeah.
Alright, he's cool. I guess.
Also a farmer?
Is he?
Yeah. Then
I
he-
always liked Andrew Jackson. That is one of my favorite
You know, Andrew
presidents.
Jackson was shot a man in the White House lawn.
Yeah. He was also shot himself, and he lived.
Yeah.
He also he's the commanding general of the Battle of New Orleans,
Yeah.
which is a battle that was fought after the war was over, but they didn't get the information in time to not fight the battle. But man, did we screw!
kicked some ass.
We kicked ass.
War of 1812, right?
It's pretty funny that someone like puts "Feel My Power" as their username. They're like, if you guys think your Airsoft guns
Feel
are
my
positive,
power.
why are you
Ban hammer.
promoting them? They're like, "Feel my power, bam."
What did he put?
Ironic twisted usernames.
This guy, Feel My Power 99.
It's the question's fine. It's just the way he phrases his question with 14 trillion question marks. It spams chat, so
Yeah.
it's really not that
Is he one
simple.
of those
to ask
anti-gun
an
people?
easy question.
No,
Probably.
not.
What brand be? Oh, this is. What
Yeah.
brand
That's a
is?
true spec.
This is True Spec. Yeah.
Yes.
I like their what are the ones we use for Black Brazils? True Spec combat shirts or?
Our Black Watch uniforms were true spec.
Yeah.
It's that same exact shirt design,
Yeah.
but OD.
They're pretty comfortable, and I put a lot of, I don't want to say bodily fluids, but just sweat into them. Like,
Bodily fluids.
I remember like the first like training game we had, like the only dry part on my shirt was like down near the wrist, because everything else had just sweat down up to there.
I think I remember that.
That was.
And then I saw that commercial in your reel where you were bicycling. I was like, Bob, how much of that sweat is fake and how much of it's real?
That was all fake, but it makes sense, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it totally makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We got one more minute left.
Say
We'll
your
take one more
questions.
question. Josh, why
In
don't you
1
pick it
minute?
for us?
What
Yeah,
G4 for outdoor, please answer. Anything that's a carbine length or rifle length?
Sounds good to me.
Cool. All right, guys. So that's gonna cap it.
That's gonna cap it off.
We'll take one question.
Josh, you pick it up.
Yep.
Frank's favorite field was Zipper
Mystery box.
Frank's just firing away. He's firing it well.
Favorite
He's
pie
not even-
flavor?
I don't care about it.
Favorite pie flavor. I like pumpkin pie.
We talked about this last time.
This
Remember
is
I
the
said
last
apple crumb
question.
pie?
last
I like
Yeah, said
apple pie.
pecan pie too.
What about apple crumb
I like
pie?
lots of pies.
I like apple pie with ice cream.
Yes, as a mood.
Classy gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Maybe we were talking about food again. Dude.
I don't know. None of these questions are good, so I
All right,
guess
so we're just gonna
end
kick.
the show.
We're just gonna get out of here.
Guys, come on. Favorite.
We already
oh.
answered
I thought you said
favorite beer.
favorite. I thought you said favorite bear.
Favorite beer right there.
Favorite beer? We can answer
I'd rather have favorite bear.
that. We can answer that.
You guys.
What
can
did you
answer that.
do?
I didn't do anything.
You made one of the windows disappear.
I'm a big fan of Stella. It's quite delicious.
Still-
Of course, make sure you are of legal drinking age in order to imbibe alcoholic beverages.
I don't think we can talk about
If you
this.
send me, if you send me in their
you
face,
guys
I will
on
sign it. If
Thursday.
you send
That's
me
2
in the
days
face,
from now.
I'll sign
Thanks
it.
for joining us for our live show.
Bye bye now.
Catch you later.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.